Today, I thought to share some of the common challenges we face as PhD students, since I'm a PhD student myself. And I thought it would be nice to share some of these challenges and some of the things I've done or I'm doing to sort of overcome these challenges, and probably might help you as a PhD student or a Master's by Research student that you are watching this video. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Suhaib, and on my channel I talk about tips and strategies in attracting admission and scholarship. I also share tips about living abroad and studying in the UK, because I've lived in quite a number of countries, and so I thought it would be nice for me to share my thoughts around these areas. And I also share my journey about my PhD as I go. And so I hope you find something that will be useful here on this channel, and I would also appreciate it if you engage with my content by leaving comments in the comment section below if you found anything useful in this video or in any other video of mine that you must have watched or that you're going to watch. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming to check my content out, and I hope you are receiving value. If you are a returning viewer, thank you also for always coming to view my content. I would appreciate it though if you kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel to assist in growing this channel. And if you are new to this channel, thank you for coming, and I would appreciate it if you also subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I believe you're going to gain massive value. So let's dive straight into today's discussion. So number one challenge I'm going to talk about, which cuts across almost everything we do in life, right, is time management, owning your own time. At one point or the other, we would all struggle with, time management, and especially if you're doing a PhD. PhD is quite a dynamic experience, in the sense that you don't know much about the research area or about the topic, and you are exploring as you go along. So it's going to be tasking, and it will take a lot of time for you to come up to speed with not only the research area, thinking about the methodology you are going to use to you are going to use in carrying out your research and all of that. And so what I do while starting out my PhD, and this is what I still do, is I treat it as like a full-time job, like 9 to 5. A lot of people talk about this, right? And I adopted this approach, and is assisting. And so I'm going to break it down how I sort of manage it. So when a typical day in my PhD journey as it relates to time management is, when I wake up, I do every other thing and all of that. So I prepare myself and I do as if I'm getting to work, even though, this work from home here and all of that, I hardly go to school, right? So I wake up, I sort of get in the mood, I prepare, like I dress up as if, it's time for me to go out to the school. So around between 9 and 10, basically, I start my work. Okay. So once I start, I just, keep going on. In between, I give myself break as well. I don't do the typical maybe 12 o'clock break, 12 noon break and all of that. Sometimes I take my break maybe by 1 p.m., sometimes 2 p.m. Sometimes, even if I start by 9, sometimes 11 a.m. I'm already, taking some break. In between, I just give myself some 5 minutes, 10 minutes break as well, to just, sort of distract myself, so that I can continue to be, productive. Because again, depends on how you sort of learn. Personally, I don't like to focus, too much into something for a long time. So I sort of give myself some few minutes break in between, and I take, like about 15-20 minutes, long break in between. And one thing also that my supervisor advised me, which was very helpful and is still helpful, is sometimes in between I just take a walk. Once the weather is okay. Yeah, especially when you're in the UK, the weather can be a bit traumatizing. for lack of a better word. So if the weather is okay, take a walk. When you take a walk, just, to clear your head, don't even think about what you're doing or what you left. That's what I do. I just sort of put myself into that walk that I'm taking. I just soak the, soak in nature, and all of that. And when I get back to, when I get back home, start working, I feel sort of energized. And I mean, I basically just carry along. And like I said, it's 9 to 5. I give myself set target. I close by 4 anyway. So I finish by 4 and that's it. However, okay, sometimes I close later, I close by 6. So again, depends on, day in, day out, you see the energy comes, maybe later in the day, you just feel that, rush of energy. If you feel that, by all means, go ahead. Okay, I would not lie to you. When I started my PhD last year, February, that's February 2021, I used to finish around 6 p.m., sometimes. Okay, because the rush of energy is there because you're just starting out. So the rush of energy is there. But nowadays I finish around 4, 5. And again, sometimes if I finish around 4, 5, sometimes maybe by 7 p.m., okay, I just feel the need to sort of do something on my research. Okay, if that happens, I sort of dedicate another 30 minutes, 1 hour to sort of scribble some things down or maybe read some articles and all of that if that feeling comes. But the thing is that you must have like a set time. I'm taking a lot of time on this time management thing because it's a whole lot of something. So I have a set time, a target time that you're going to be working. And outside of those time, if something happens, like in terms of you having energy, by all means, go for it. Another thing that would not, I'll come to that as I go along anyway. Another thing that will not make you, sort of burn out too much is, creating time for family and all of that. But we'll get there, right? So, but it's also part of time management anyway, because you have to create that time, for family. You have to create that time maybe for your spouse if you're married, like myself. You have to create time for your children if you have kids. You have to create time for other things in your life. Maybe, I mean, this is personal. Personally, I like to watch some documentaries, biographies, and sometimes I watch, movies on Netflix and all of that. So I create time for all of those because all of this, is part of time management and it's just it boosts, energy. So that's it. That's how I've been managing my time. And number two thing that I'm going to talk about is, feeling less motivated. Okay, so this is something that happens along the line. I mean, so I'm in my second year of PhD, and when I first started my first year, I did feel less motivated for almost like 9 months, 10 months. I didn't even feel less motivated about my PhD, to be honest. Okay, but after that, okay, the feeling of, I started feeling like, oh, is this how I'm going to continue? Again, everybody is different, right? It depends on your background before you start your PhD. Personally, I've been working for more than 4 years before coming back into, before coming back to do my postgraduate study. I did my master's first, then I'm doing my PhD. And so motivation was becoming less because I started thinking about, oh, I need to, make money, to sort of, live, because this is what I'm used to. I'm used to making money, right? Because I was working and I was earning well. Maybe someday I'm going to talk about how I decided to leave, that my 8-figure job to come and take up postgraduate study. It's ridiculous sometimes, I know. Yeah. So because of the feeling of, wanting to make more money, because of the feeling, I mean, again, we're all different, what we think about money and all of that is different. But personally, I feel like, you need money as a resource, to continue to live, to continue to, make impact, to continue to do whatever you want to do, right? And so that started cropping into my mind, I think maybe month 10 or 11 or something. But I'm going to be very factual with you. The one I can remember very well is in the last, since the beginning of this year, 2022, I've been feeling a bit less motivated about the PhD and thinking more about, what can I do to make more money, right? And so that can assist. I mean, that can, sort of start making you not to want to dedicate time to your PhD. So what I'm doing, okay, to ensure that I continue to dedicate time to my PhD and to move my motivation up, for lack of a better word, is so I started to look at what are the things I can do that will be related to my PhD and that would sort of have a long-term impact and is going to serve like a long-term goal that I know that is going to not only influence my PhD positively, but I can also sort of take it with me once I complete my PhD, right? So for people, it's gonna differ and depending on kind of research you're doing. So for me, what I did was I started, thinking about a business idea, okay, that I can take out from my PhD work, okay, and also I know that it's probably going to be useful to the industry because I mean I'm within the construction and environment industry, right? So I have just launched a talk show. It's called Construction Carbon Talk Show, right? And so, it took me time to conceptualize this talk show, to think about who I'm going to bring into the talk show, to put together, the format of the talk show and all of that. And I've launched that. Is going well, right? I've done just one episode, right? But of course, I have plans for the next 5, 6 episode, right? So this then made me to sort of develop more interest in my PhD because I know that what I do in my PhD is going to be useful for this construction carbon talk show. And I have other ideas that I'm sort of working on as part of that I'm drawing from my PhD to ensure that I don't feel less motivated, to ensure that I continue to go on my PhD because I know that if I finish my PhD strongly, okay, then it means that I can grow my business after my PhD. I mean, that's what I'm doing to not feel less motivated. Kindly let me know in the comment section if you're a PhD student what you are doing not to feel less motivated. Another thing is thinking about the future. Now, this is attached to being less motivated for me, at least for me. So I started thinking about the future, like I said, okay, and that's what caused my feeling of being less motivated, and so it's I took a step, okay, to say that okay, can I start a business? Another thing is I'm also I started looking at job roles that I feel that I can fit in when I complete my PhD. I know I'm just starting my second year because I'm in the 4th month of my second year, but I think it's something that is very important because that way you'll be able to prepare yourself well before you complete your PhD so that you won't finish your PhD and you start thinking, so what next for me? So I started looking at job roles. In fact, I'll be totally honest with you guys, okay? I started applying, okay, because I wanted to start testing the waters because I was able to I was opportune to attend a webinar, okay, by Cheeky Scientists. Some of you might know Cheeky Scientists. If you don't know Cheeky Scientists, you can check them out. And basically what Cheeky Scientists does is that they try to assist PhD students to move into the industry. Okay, they try to assist doctoral researchers, even people that have completed their PhD to move into the industry. So one thing stood out for me, okay, what Isaiah, who is the founder of Chick Scientists, said, is also a doctor, he finished his PhD, is that you must not wait till the end before you start testing the waters, before you start understanding what is obtainable in the industry. So I've started thinking about the future, okay, and it was becoming daunting for me how I'm going to fit in. When you're doing PhD, it's a regimented research and you are just focusing on a niche area and all of that. But the industry probably needs more wide knowledge from you. So I started testing the waters. I started looking at what are the other skills I could add to myself. In fact, I started applying and I'm getting interviews. It's for only you, okay? Don't let my supervisor there. If my supervisor is watching this, So, um, I just started getting interviews. So, this is how I'm tackling, the idea of thinking about the future and not letting it to weigh me down so much. So, and the last thing I'm going to be talking about, because the video is getting too long, okay, is feeling stressed and, feeling lonely and all of that. Like I said, when I was starting with time management and all of that, to manage stress, what I do is I create time for family, right? Especially family. I mean, because I'm married, especially my wife, because I mean, that's the person that is close to me right now. So, and because you can't say you want to go all into your PhD and not create time for that, because you don't want your family to suffer, because if your family life suffers, okay, then you might not even complete your PhD well, because it might affect you psychologically. So I create time, like uh, when is sometimes around 7, but sometimes around 8. So it depends on my schedule and my wife's schedule. Okay, so but we have an agreement that at least every day in the night or in the evening, between because she works, when she closes work, when she gets home, between that time that she gets home around maybe 5:30 till we before we sleep, we at least create 30 minutes to 1 hour every day. And this is what we do every day. Okay, I mean, even before I started my PhD, but since I started my PhD, this has not stopped. At least 30 minutes or 1 hour every day in the evening, we sort of just gist generally what happened today, what are the things you're thinking about, what's going to happen tomorrow, and all of that. So you will discover that this can also assist you in managing stress for your PhD. Another thing is, if you are single, right? If you're not married, you know, if you have friends, you could, your close friends and all of that, create time, that you need to, sort of connect with them, or maybe calling your family and all of that. And again, even me, you that you're married, me that I'm married, I still sort of try to find time, to get across to my family. You would be shocked that this actually assists in managing stress, because you are releasing the tension that is building in or building up. I know that at some point, because like this second year has been a bit challenging for me, right? And I've not even been reaching out to my, like my parents, my siblings and all of that much. But then I try to explain to them that, this second year is a bit challenging, and I might not be, reaching out as much as I used to. And so they sort of understand that. So like maybe now, before I used to reach out to them like almost every week, like once a week, twice a week, but now maybe once in 2 weeks and all of that. But they understand, because it's a phase. Okay, and yes, I feel the stress. I'm not going to tell you that I did not feel stress. I feel the stress, but these are the things I do: reaching out to my family, taking time out with my spouse. I also go out, I still take those walk in between that I told you, and I still go out. Like, I sort of sometimes weekend. And another thing is, my weekends, I sort of carve it out. I don't tend to work on my PhD during the weekend, except if there's something that is super, super important. Okay, but minus that, weekend is my time off, spend the whole day doing grocery with my wife, gisting, cooking. Yeah, I like to cook with my wife. So cooking and all of that stuff. So you need that. You need to carve, let your research stay on one part. Your life still continues beyond your research. So that's it, guys, on some of the challenges being faced, that I'm facing, and probably you're facing that, and those are the techniques that I've been using to manage it. So let me know in the comment section if this is helpful. Let me know in the comment section if these are some of the steps you have also been taking in managing stress, or how you manage your time, feeling less motivated and all of that. Also, kindly share if you have other techniques that we can all learn from in managing stress and time, and feeling less motivated and all of that. So thank you so much. If you've not subscribed, kindly, before you leave my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. This will motivate me to continue to give you the best. Thank you.